Alright, hello guys, this is Mr. Hernandez. Today we're going to continue talking about rounding. Rounding. If you remember, we always start off with the decimal point. You got to know your place value. Decimal point. And what's to the right? What goes one time to the right? That is called the tens. Then you have the hundreds place. And then the thousands place. To the left, you have the ones, the tens, the hundreds, the thousands, and so on. Here's an example if you forgot already. 5.684. This is the ones, this is the tens, this is the hundreds, and this is the thousands. You have to use this chart to do rounding. Let's do an example. 6.64. If it tells you round to the nearest tenths place. Round to the nearest tenths place, what we're going to do is we're going to change the tenths place. So what number is in the tenths place? Let's look at our chart. We go from the decimal point and we go to tens. How many times do we go to the tens place? One time. So let's move one time from the decimal place. 1. What is my tens place? 6. Underline the 6. Now remember, we always look to the number to the right of 6. Look to the number to the right. So what number is to the right of 6? 4. Remember our two rules. 5 or bigger. What happens if it's 5 or bigger? We go up. Our second rule. Smaller than 5, it stays the same. So now, the 4, is it bigger than 5 or smaller than 5? It is smaller than 5. So the 6 is going to stay the same. So it's going to be 6.6 is my answer. Let's do another example. If I had 106.38913, round to the nearest thousandths place. So what we're going to change the thousands place. Let's go to our chart. Our thousands is 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So count 3 times. 1, 2, 3. What number is in the thousands place? 9. So our two rules. 5 or bigger, go up. Number 2. Smaller than 5 stays the same. So what number's to the right of 9? 1. Is 1 bigger than 5 or smaller than 5? It's smaller, so we're going to stay the same. The 9 stays the same. So my answer is 106.389. And that is your answer. So now, if I go down, we're going to talk about multiplying decimals. Who remembers how to multiply decimals? Let's do this one. 0 times 9 is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. 0 times 6 is 0. After I finish, I add a 0 and I keep going. 9 times 7 is 63. 7 times 3 is 21 plus 6 is 27. 6 times 7 is 42 plus 2 is 44. My last step is to add 0, 3, 7, 4, 4. Now, how many are behind the decimal? 1, 2. So I'll move the decimal 2 times to the left. 1, 2. 447.30. Now in your homework, this is what I want you to do on your homework. The first rule, round to the nearest hundredths place. Number 2, round to the nearest tens place. Round number 1 says round to the nearest hundredths place. Number 2 says round to the nearest tenths place if you cannot round the hundredths. So this example, does it have a hundredths place? Yes, it's at 0. But can you round that 0? Does it have a number to the right? No, it does not. So what we're going to do is we're going to round. We're going to use this one. We're going to round to the tenths place because you cannot round the hundredths. So 3 is in your tenths, and now we look at 0. Is 0 bigger than 5 or smaller than 5? It's smaller, so it stays the same. So my answer is 447.3. Let's do another example. So in your homework, I want you to do the hundredths place first. If you cannot round the hundredths, do the tenths place. Let's do number 8. 5 times 8 is 40. 6 times 8 is 48, plus 4 is 52. 8 times 8 is 64, plus 5 is 69. 1 times 8 is 8, plus 6 is 14. I add a 0. This is 30. Six times 6 is 36, plus 3 is 39. 8 times 6 is 48, plus 3 it is 51. 1 times 6 is 6, plus 5 is 11. 0, 2, I add now. 18, 6, 2, 1. How many are behind the decimal? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 126.820 thousandths. So now my rule said round to the nearest hundredths place. That's what I want you to do first. Do I have a hundredths place? Yes. What is that number? 2. Does it have a number to the right? Yes. 0. Is that number bigger than 5 or smaller than 5? It is smaller, so it's going to stay the same. 126.82 is your answer. This is what I want you to do on your homework. Now, go back to your teams. You're going to go to your class, which is D level, or if you have Miss White or Miss Garza, you're going to look for decimals, multiplying decimals and rounding, with rounding. You're going to do what you did yesterday, how you turned it in and everything. This is how your homework looks like. Now you're doing multiplying decimals, negative and positive. Make sure you remember negative and positive. Your instructions say round to the nearest hundreds first. Do that first. If you cannot, round to the nearest tenths. Let's see if anybody turned it in. One person. Alright, guys, that's what I want you to do. Make sure you turn in your homework. If you have any questions, let me know.